Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP Morning Show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Hey, you Gumpers, Munson here from expatsportugal.com with a Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. How are you today? Como estás? Tudo bem? I'm feeling pretty airy, man, if I may appropriate that comment from another culture this morning. Possibly slightly hungover. A confession to share with you as soon as we open the show this morning. For a lovely meal yesterday. Thank you. It was so nice yesterday with so many of you wishing me and Mrs. M a happy anniversary on May the 4th. May the 4th was certainly with us. We went to a fantastic Silver Coast meetup. Lots of lovely people there, and the festivities began. Thank you so much, Buddy. That was a very, very kind gesture. And then later on, thank you, Jay and Diane, for stepping in and babysitting for us so that me and Mrs. M could go out for a meal in the swankiest restaurant, I would say, in San Martino de Porto. Just look at this view, and I don't mean that lovely lady on the left there. I mean the bay there. Somewhat not brilliantly captured in terms of spirit levels. The sea in San Martino de Porto Bay is actually level. So it's slightly misleading that it's wonky and running down to the right-hand side of your screen there. But there we are in Eau de Casa, which has had a recent refit. I mean, a lovely evening. It's not often I buy fish by the kilo on a menu, if you know what I mean. Look, I'm talking of lovely views. My dining companion, Mrs. M. So thank you very much for 9 wonderful years of marriage celebrated yesterday evening. And we watched the sunset in the bay. And my confession is that I had a glass of fizz and I was encouraged. My arm was twisted to taste a little bit of red as well from the Bacaloa, a wine producer there in Azeitona near Setúbal. And yes, what a great evening it was. And then when it came to pay the bill, a couple of glasses of port as well. So thank you very much, Antonio and Paulo at Eau de Casa, for having created such a beautiful atmosphere and such excellent service and a beautiful night out. And Mrs. M was a little bit tipsy, and I encouraged her to walk on the sea wall, which she didn't need much encouragement. She was up like our kids like to walk on the sea wall at San Martino de Porto. It's a really lovely thing to see kids running along the wall there. And Mrs. M had a go last night as well before we went home. So thanks, Pete. Hope you had a fabulous time with the missus last night. I thought you were eating in a cave. Yes, that was our choice, our first choice, and a tip-off that I was given, as I told you yesterday. But that was shut. So we just wandered around and thought, okay, let's go to Eau de Casa. It's got a beautiful view. And didn't ask for a particular table, but the picture that you saw there is of the corner seat, really. And it just gives you a lovely view of the bay. It was such fun. And such a lovely evening, one to remember. So thank you very much for everybody who contributed to our lovely day yesterday, whether it was a greeting on the show in the morning or coming to the meetup or throughout the day. So thank you so much. Much appreciated, folks. I won't be drinking again until July. What I'm waiting for when I break my alcohol fast is it's really the beer fast. That's probably the Portuguese drink I enjoy most, is the cold Portuguese beer. And I'm a Sagres guy, not like Daniel Reis, who was telling us on Monday that he's a Superboc guy. I am a Sagres man. And I'm so looking forward to early July when it'll be my birthday, and that'll be my year off the booze, apart from last night. The glass of Espumante was beautiful as well. Oh, my goodness. Fizz definitely does the biz. That went down very well. T-Duck, looks like you had a great evening last night as well. I've got some pictures from the Bluegrass meetup and gig last night, Bluegrass and Pizza. Looked like that was a lot of fun too. Suze's continuing adventure from Finland towards Portugal via Denmark. I think you saw Sweden, if not touched upon the land of Sweden and Germany and France on the way, and a fantastic couple of videos from Suze as well. So that's that epic journey underway. The sun coming in through the window, as you can see on the green screen behind me. Let's let the sundial show you what a beautiful day it's going to be today. Excellent as well today. That the 5th of May is International Day of the Midwife. Probably my favorite profession, I have to say. I've had I haven't had 5 children. I've been involved in the fun part of making 5 children, and midwives are just the most incredible people. In the process of being a father to 5, you get to meet the most incredible people who are midwives. Deagle, of course, a midwife too, and celebrating the International Day of the profession. You are amazing people, so lots of love and recognition and respect and just all good things for the midwives of the world today. You are incredible people. And Deagle saying, Bon dia, Carl, people here go to the polls today in Northern Ireland. Assembly elections. It's a coalition government, but looking like nationalists with Irish views going to win. Most, but not a majority. A lot of this going on around the world, isn't there? The people, I don't know, this great political pressure and ferment, and things becoming more polarized, divisive, and nationalists. I don't know. I think that the message really from politicians should be, look, you keep looking to us to sort you out. Basically, you're on your own now and you've got each other. We've messed it up. This political experiment hasn't really worked. Don't know if you've noticed, but you're on your own. You're on your own. Don't keep looking to us. We just look at pornography in Parliament and stuff like that. Anyway, good luck to anyone who's involved in good luck to anyone involved in an election around the world. I think it's the same in the rest of the UK, right? Local elections today, and people venting their spleens in the ballot box. Hopefully not literally. French fries were not first cooked in France, says Deagle. They were cooked in Greece. Well, hey! Oh, I missed the chance to give you a dad joke warning there. You can have one anywhere, Deagle, for that, for goodness sake.
Warning.
Oh, no! You deserve that. And oh, no, for that. First cooked in Greece. French fries. Well done. T-Duck, bon dia, Gumpers. Let's show the pictures of T-Duck's night out last night. Barely awake this morning. It was like that, was it? What is the traditional drink of bluegrass? Is this a poutine or some hooch that's been made in a still in the cellar, possibly with bluegrass, right? You're barely awake this morning. Had a great time last night listening to live bluegrass and meeting new people. Y'all missed out. It was a fantastic show that lasted late. Big thank you to Chris Smith for inviting us. Really awesome show. So you're amazing, Chris, coming over here with your guitar and playing a few tunes while scouting for somewhere to live here in Portugal. 4th of May, as it was, that was the gig last night. Bluegrass and pizza. So it sounds like great fun was had by all. Let's show a few more of the pictures from last night and see if you can recognize the beautiful instruments. Quite an array of instruments. There's Chris on the right with his guitar. That you've been traveling around the world with your guitar on your back there. That's so cool, Chris. And your Alaska. I notice you have a nice range of baseball caps too. The one with Canada on always makes me giggle. And who's the gentleman on your left there, Chris or T-Duck? Can you let us know with the fine moustache? There, a double bass. That is a double bass, isn't it? Yeah. And Chris again on the left there. Nearly finished his beer. Somebody get that man another beer and a banjo. Look, the traditional banjo of the bluegrass world there. And that lovely look that musicians give each other. I don't know how often these guys play together, but isn't it lovely when you see musicians looking into each other's eyes and tuning in? They're playing their instruments whilst looking at each other and just tuning in literally to each other. And then you get the most beautiful phenomenon, don't you, of them it all coming together. 5 instruments then, and I don't know if we're going to get to be treated to a little bit of audio as well at some point from T-Duck, but that looks like that might be your machine. Last time I saw that, it was very hairy. Looks like your recorder's had a shave and gone all kind of Brazilian on us this morning there, T-Duck. Da abundância do coração fala a boca, out of the abundance of the heart. the mouth speaketh, or not, as the case may be. But we know, don't we, in this community, that we speak from an abundance of the heart, generally speaking, and long may that continue. Well done, everybody. Hola, Gumpers from Baldylocks as well. How you doing, mate? Good to see you here, Tony. And the beijo, the bon sal está homem mau, underneath the good skirt is the bad man. Judge not a man and things at first sight. Okay, well, that's another way of looking at it, isn't it? Don't judge a man by his skirt. Good advice this morning. Thank you very much, T-Duck, for the continued Portuguese proverbs. Mais vale pão duro que nenhum. Hard bread is better than none. So true. Pithy. Bang on. Spot on. Absolutely right. This rich seam of Portuguese wisdom that T-Duck continues to treat us to. Although I do see that today marks the final Dimitri Martin quote of the day. We've run dry on Dimitri Martin quotes, having said what a rich seam Dimitri was, I think only yesterday or the day before. It's over, everybody. It's over. Dimitri Martin quote, the last one. I may fall asleep before the show ends. If so, have a great day. Some of us have got your WhatsApp number. We'll give you a ping and wake you up. Thanks, T-Duck, for the lovely pictures. Bon dia, Gumpers. And I'm glad you enjoyed yourself last night. Isn't it fantastic that we have so many wonderful and creative people in this community? Some able to entertain you within the bluegrass genre as well. Bon dia, Gumpers, from James. Feliz Quinta, Todos. Quinta, of course, yes, Thursday. And it's webinar day, isn't it? And the webinar tonight is one of these, chat with our members. It's the evolution of our hanging out with the Ask Our Expats team. And what we've recognized with the webinar on a Thursday night, who here, just give us a shout in the chat if you come along to the webinars. And if you don't, why not? These are what we've noticed, actually, is they're quite a social matter. And people come along to be in the company of other people moving to Portugal, not necessarily always interested in the subject matter. But who wouldn't be interested tonight when I talk to Amit this evening, it's lovely to have watched Amit's trajectory from being in the United States and now in Portugal, and chatting with us tonight about his experiences of coming here. So gloves off, unplugged, and letting you know about everything that certainly Amit and family have been through, and now living in Portugal. You know, whether to get a shipping container, whether to burn it all and come light, what it might be like to work over here remotely, everything that Amit's been through, and others as well who will be no doubt with us on the webinar, keeping themselves warm around the Portuguese pilot light that is the Thursday night session. That's the thing. With Thursday nights, people definitely turn up, not necessarily interested in the subject matter, but just to be with others and to chew the fat, the Portuguese fat, about everything you need to know about moving here, basically. So one of those this evening. And if you'd like to tell your story about moving to Portugal, I'd be delighted to talk to you either on the show here in the morning or on one of those sessions. Yeah, is that the booze from last night? Port fizz and a little bit of red wine after months of not drinking anything. I do think I'm just a tinsy-wincy bit hungover this morning. Thank you to the Porky Feet. How are you this morning, mate? Look, Andy sent in some fantastic posters. However, as usual is what I meant to say. I don't know why I said however. But maybe it's the thought of more wine this morning, although that could do the trick. This is the Anadia Wine Festival, which is a big deal. And this looks like a menu rather than an exciting poster for 2 weeks of festivities up there in Anadia in the Aveiro district. And look at the headliners on the 22nd of June, everybody. It's Juntos and Pontapes, the Rolling Stones of Portugal are playing. It's an amazing event. We've been to this when we lived up in Anadia, and it's an incredible event. There's wine, there's food, there's tractors, there's bands. It's just a fantastic, typical Portuguese festa. And it's a lovely atmosphere, a lovely vibe, so much to do. It's a festival. It's kind of like an agricultural conference. It's a wine conference, and obviously the chance, as usual, here in Portugal, to enjoy a great food and lots of it, and wine as well, in the wonderful Bairrada wine district. So thank you very much, Andy, for that this morning. I think you sent me something else. Yes, you did. Here we go. What's this? The 22nd Concentración Motard. There, this looks like a motorbike festival, doesn't it? A biker festival. Don't get too excited yet. This is not the blessing of the helmets. You'll have to wait until, is it August for the blessing of the helmets? I think we've already got an advanced poster for that. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, the blessing of the helmets. When's this? 2022's blessing of the helmets, the 18th of September. Okay, it's a lovely picture, that, isn't it, of our Mary looking down on the amassed bikers there, who are really just getting ready to have their helmets blessed in a massive gathering there in Fatima. But no, this is a different event for bikers. And I don't quite understand what's going on. And I only say that because I see a bike in the picture. But DJ Fiasco will be playing. What could possibly go wrong? Looks like a lot of fun. And if you can translate and understand that poster better than me, then do let me know what's going on there. I'll just move the banner out of the way. Wiley joining us, of course, at 9. Yes, in Oliveira de Bairro. This is Bairrada country as well. At Sagres. It's all looking good to me. There's a Sagres logo on it, and DJ Fiasco's playing. That's all I would need to turn up between the 12th and the 15th of May. So coming up within the next couple of weeks, this 22nd Concentración Motard there in Oliveira de Bairro. Go check it out if you haven't been to that part of Portugal. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start putting these on the events page of Expats Portugal, and we'll get these coming in from all over the country. It's the least we can do to celebrate and showcase these wonderful events that are going on that, let's face it, aren't always that well marketed. Where did Jean have lunch yesterday? Here, look at this, the lovely sunny calçaded streets down there in the Algarve, and probably a bit early there. One of the first diners. What's the name of this establishment? How was it, Jean? Do let us know. This is the Otrevo Restaurante Grill in Olhão. Okay, and you had lunch there with Andrea's family at that family restaurant. Otrevo these are some of the best, aren't they? The family restaurants that only the Portuguese people really know about and go to. If you're lucky enough to be taken along by a Portuguese family, you'll have a great time, as I suspect Jean did yesterday. Excellent stuff. Thank you very much for that. I think we're up to date with all the contributions that have come in. Apart from Sue's journey, let's have a quick look at Taxi on the beach, shall we? Not that kind of taxi. Taxi the dog. Oh.
Okay, I have to get the phone in my right hand, and he'll jerk it right out of me. He is loving. He was afraid of the sand at first, and now he is just loving it after being cooped up in a van or a boat since Sunday night. I wish I could let him go. He matches the beach, isn't that cute? Woo-hoo-hoo. Look at Taxi go.
Yeah, look at Taxi go. Glad to be out of the van. And before we go to this day in Portuguese history and some of your comments this morning, let's have a look at this. Well, yesterday in European history, as Suze was singing. Isn't her voice fantastic? Sounds a bit like Jodie Foster, but we're enjoying the Canadianness of Suze's voice and accent right here. And I think a very significant part of the journey for Suze, as you'll hear here.
Well, I can't even believe that I'm here. I'm in Normandy at the D-Day invasion site. Taxi's tugging on a leash. Anyway, I'm looking up towards what I believe is Utah Beach, and I'm at Omaha Beach. It's hard to believe this was the place of a history-changing day. And then looking north, we would be looking up towards Sword Beach and Juno Beach. I think it's actually Juno Beach first, then Sword Beach, for the Canadians and the Brits. And it's a gorgeous day. And there's lots of people here. So I'm gonna walk around. This is the day that changed history. Right here.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for that, Suze. Yeah, poignant visit to the beach in France there, of course. And yeah, the names are given by the invasion forces rather than the names that the French would have given those beaches. But that's an amazing coastline there in Normandy. Yeah, very poignant place to be. And thank you for sharing the videos there, Suze. Where are you today? Happy UNESCO World Portuguese Language Day, okay, as well as the Day of Midwives today. More than 265 million Portuguese speakers are spread throughout all continents, but it is also the most widely spoken language in the Southern Hemisphere. Of course, this is the prof with that input. Final Dimitri Martin quote of the day before we go to a bit of Portuguese history. What do you call someone who can't tell the difference between a spoon and a ladle? Fat. That's not very nice, Dimitri. Buddy, thank you so much, buddy. Thanks again for your lovely gift yesterday. Bon dia, Gumpers, from a misty Serra da Pescaria. Pescaria, what am I talking about this morning? Thanks for a lovely meetup yesterday. I love meeting you guys. Great to see you there. One of the absolute regulars is Buddy, who joins us every Wednesday. Make sure you do too, if that's your thing, between 1 and 3. I said midday yesterday, didn't I? And it was lovely to meet John and Paula, who turned up at midday, and I think had a nice quiet lunch before the rest of us got there. Bon dia from, what's this? Meet from the prof. Who's that in the picture? We're going to find out in just a moment, aren't we, after a bit of this? I do like that last note there, the down. And of course, the meep is for Wiley's benefit. I'm not going to say it to her when she arrives, Prof. She's heard it all before. Today in Portuguese history, I think she put you right last time, didn't she? Today in Portuguese history, and I've got some beautiful property to show you. What have we got? So your budget needs to be 800,000 euros or nearly 4 million today. We can but dream and have a bit of fun having a nosy around a couple of lovely properties. Today in Portuguese history, 1762, Spanish invade Portugal. Again, in brackets, Spanish invasion of Portugal between 5th of May and 24th of November was part of the 7 Years' War, in which Spain and France, cliffhanger, oh my goodness, okay, here we go, were defeated by the Anglo-Portuguese alliance with broad popular resistance. There you go. That special relationship, the Anglo-Portuguese relationship. Thank you very much for that, Prof. I'm having a midweek day off. What? Are you okay, mate? Not like you. I'm sat down outside my local cafe having a coffee. Love where you live, Lee. I used to live over that way. It's fantastic over there. It's a good life. Good morning, people. Well, what a lovely greeting from you this morning, Lee. Join the head gardener, McGrady, next Monday for the next session of the Happy Homesteaders Gardening Q&A. Have a great day off, my friend. Lovely to hear from you. Is that the one, Pete asking the prof, where Sean Bean single-handedly defeated Napoleon in the Spanish? That's the one, isn't it? Bayek, I'm Sean Bean, and I'm going to give you rascals you're going to run my cold steel through you. I went to a sounded a bit like Bernard Manning at the end there, didn't it? I went to a new, take my mother-in-law. I wish somebody would. No, and I don't mean that personally. Thank you very much to Dee and Alan as well for your lovely gift to us yesterday on our anniversary. I went to a nude beach. It's a true story. They told me to park, what, in the handicap section? That too doesn't sound very nice. From Rodney Dangerfield. Funniest thing about Rodney Dangerfield is his face, isn't it? What an incredible face. I just want to start laughing as soon as I see him pop up on a comedy video. Not his best material there, is it? I don't think. Sounds fantastic. Café Galant, Café Conchirinha. Yeah, the head gardener will be into it. I think would have had a little snifter this morning. Nunu, great to see you yesterday. Michael from Serenity and Nunu were there. Enjoying themselves. They look like a couple of extras out of Reservoir Dogs, actually, looking quite business-like yesterday and letting their hair down and having a good time with the rest of us. Good morning, everyone from Nunu. Yes, Bear Grylls, as you're also known, the Bear Grylls of the insurance world. So, and he thought it was funny, that I'd messed up on Monday talking about the travel insurance product. That the community here put me right answering a question about travel insurance. So thank you to everybody who did that. Nunu thought that was hilarious. So 1% proficient with Portuguese language, says James, out of 265 million speakers would make me, well, I'll be a solid one of 265 million plus one eventually. Keep going. Keep going. Portugal. No, that's another time Spain invaded in 1809. And talking to the waiters last night at the restaurant, actually, there is something of a Spanish invasion going on in Portuguese waters. Portugal has the largest fishing area, I believe. Obviously because on the Western European frontier here, all of the Atlantic coast, and imagine Madeira and Azores, the fishing of the rights or fields, the fishing fields of the autonomous regions as well included, make Portugal or give Portugal a huge fishing opportunity and advantage. But apparently Spanish boats, so not just the winds and the marriages, but Spanish fishing boats coming from Spain as well, and hoovering up in Portuguese waters and taking better advantage of the opportunities in the seas for fishing, apparently, than Portugal. I didn't realize that. And thank you, Pete, for that. Thank you very much indeed. We didn't eat in the cave. We went in Eau de Casa, which was superb. Okay, off to invade Spain. Pete doing his bit then this morning. Is there any giant fruit or veg you fancy while we pillage? You don't need to pillage at those prices. No need for pillaging at these prices. That's quite a good strapline for a supermarket, isn't it? France is here. Such a pleasure meeting you both and the kids. Great to see you yesterday at the meetup, and good to have you here, France, and in real time rather than watching the vids. Lovely to meet you for the first time the other day on the beach as well. An unexpected treat for us there. Today is Cinco de Mayo, of course, as well. Wow, this is a well-celebrated date all around the world, isn't it? Cinco de Mayo, a celebration where everyone salutes the fact that the Mexicans fought back and beat the French army at the Battle of Puebla, says T-Duck, on May the 5th, 1862. Wow. What does one say? Happy Cinco de Mayo. Bon dia, do linda soldado Mon Carapacho this morning. Gene, you're having a great time, aren't you? We can see from the photos. Bon dia from Pam as well, and from Sarah this morning. And what's this? You know what? Us ex-heads of history are like dates schmates. You are, aren't you? Pete's been very quiet, though. You kept that quiet, that you're an ex-head of history. We might expect a little bit more from you then, Pete. Or are you just glad to have put it all behind you? Is that literally history? Your history teaching career is literally history for you, maybe. Let's see if that prompts Pete to be more forthcoming with a few facts and figures about Portuguese history, or global history for that matter. I'm with you, Carl. I prefer Sagres over the Superbock. It's close. I'll drink Superbock, obviously, if somebody gives me one of those. But Sagres, I find a little bit crisper, but leans just ever so slightly in the Sagres direction. Yes, okay, excellent. Pete, I have a similar view to the Spanish as Shankly on Everton. British football reference, in case you didn't know. If they were playing down the bottom of my garden, I'd draw the curtains. Ooh, ouch. Surely the traditional drink of bluegrass are tears and family liaisons. Now, bon dia, Gumpers. Yes, great night last night, says Jean at the bluegrass session. Oh, Jean was there as well. Great fun. Also nice meeting fellow expats. A bit of an impromptu meetup there. And point of order, says Sarah. Moonshine is made in a barn. Trust me, I'm from Georgia. Okay, fair enough. No need to hide it in the cellar in Georgia then. Let's help Carl out by using a dad joke warning ahead of our dad jokes. Yeah, that was a retrospective one for you earlier on, especially for Deagle. And what's this? It's like an indoor deliverance. What? Should we move away from that? Bondia Green Compass. Yeah, it wasn't the best bit of tourism marketing, that was it, in the movie for that part of America. Hola, bon dia from Sam Nazare as well. How does one judge not lest ye be judged in Portuguese? Yes, he wants to know how to say it as well as do it. I think there's a bit of homework for you then, T-Duck. And Andrew's here. Andrew's somebody who comes to the webinar, regardless of the subject matter, just to hang out and be with the community. I get a chance to tune in this morning. Why is that? Have you sent the students off on a field trip or something without you? Or sent them down the shop? Can you still do that? Can you still send students down the shop to get you some postage stamps or cigarettes or some more beer? Probably not these days, right? Out of the abundance... What the like button riseth? Oh, an erotic novel entry there. I haven't had one of those for a while. I had a delicious meal at Little India in Nazare last night. not been there for a long time. So that sounds good. And that comes up a lot, doesn't it? And when it comes to recommendations for Indian food here in Portugal. Little India in Nazaré. How was it, Pam? Let us know how that was. Okay, and here we go. Instant response to your question. We're going to go to those wonderful property buying questions in just a moment. Wiley is here. According to Google, não julga para não ser julgado. You've been on Google Translate. Or is that from your own, is that from your secret reference guide to Portuguese sayings there, Thunderduck? Thank you very much for those. And just quickly then, Kathy, bon dia. Yes, the Thursday webinars are great. I have attended a couple and look forward to the next. So hanging out and chatting tonight. Changing out, I was going to say. Also, love the Monday gardening too. Great work, Expats Portugal. Thank you. It's our pleasure, Kathy. So glad I read that comment out. As we bring onto the screen, Wiley from morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, Wiley. Thank you very much. Not only how are you, but where are you? What is the lovely backdrop behind you? You're in a sauna this morning.
I'm in my attic.
Oh, okay. It does look like a sauna cabin. That's beautiful.
This is like, this is the other part of my house.
Right.
Because my son is here and his girlfriend is working. And so she's downstairs. So I have to come upstairs in my loft and talk to you guys.
Oh, that's so great. And did you have this work done? Who is the interior designer behind this wonderful work?
Moi?
You did this?
Of course.
All right. Well, actually, you made it, or you instructed others? You sketched it up and you did the designs? Or
Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. This house you couldn't live in it. It was amazing. And the fact that they didn't recognize that they had an attic that could be used as a loft was pretty amazing as well.
Yes. That's the thing here. Yeah.
So, I just, I put some skylights in. I did it in Swedish style.
Clearly.
Here we have 2 beds. I don't know if you can see the other bed, but there's 2 beds, some more storage back there. And then this is storage on both sides, kind of open and close with all my suitcases in it. And then we'll have the stairs going downstairs. There's a set of...
Ouch. We've lost your sound now, Wiley. Oh, that didn't go well. This is one of those things that can be immortalized on YouTube now, isn't it? When we got shown around Wiley's attic and then the camera fell over, and we just have to hope and pray. Fingers crossed and hands together in prayer, please, that we have the safe return of Wiley to our screens. We'll come back to Wiley in just a moment after she's reset the video there. And as I said, we're looking at a couple of properties. Normally, we would look at Estoril, Cascais, the areas around which or in which Wiley specializes. It got a beauty. I think the first one in Cascais is over that way, but we'll find out from Wiley in just a moment. And a luxury 5-bedder at just under 4 million euros in Visieux this morning. So we're going to be going to Visieux as well. Wiley, are you okay?
My laptop I didn't fall.
For that, because we would have been on TikTok or YouTube, wouldn't we? For the rest of our lives with that little faux pas there.
I didn't know that was going to happen. I'm sorry.
That's a hell of a drop out of the attic as well, isn't it? I thought we were going. Now, this is an attic that you probably need to be fully sober to enter. And
yes, you do. No, there's one set of stairs that comes and goes. No, you put bad children up here and you remove the stairs. It's really great.
Well, that's a selling feature for sure, isn't it? Place for bad children. Okay.
It's going to be a new box on Idealista. Bad children, yes.
Bad children, space included. So, or guests, guests who you don't want to come back again to visit you.
Right.
Now, this is an underestimated part of the home sometimes in Portugal, isn't it? Is this because generally Portuguese homes have quite a few rooms and there's not the same kind of desperation for space, and that's why so many attics are left undeveloped?
I think a lot of people use the balconies. You very often you'll see back balconies that have the laundry room, and then they'll have all their storage packed up there. And I just think that I have more need for that space. That balcony for me is more of a balcony, where a lot of the Portuguese don't necessarily want to be outside when they're inside, and we do. So we open our glass balconies, we create terraces, we create lofts, and we create storage. So it's just a different experience. But but it's also it's the cost is it's not a little bit of money. So it's one of those scenarios where to open up a loft that literally there were beams, and if I stepped in between the beams, I might have fallen all the way through. Like there wasn't a lot protecting me from the two. And so that
Right.
also is the insulation. So then when you take the ceiling out and you recognize that that ceiling was literally just ceiling tile, there's no
Yeah.
insulation and then something. So it's also an insulation factor that a lot of the houses don't have. And so when you create it, then you have less need for heat and air conditioning because you've created insulation from all that. So
Very good. So a few benefits then from a loft conversion, and not an inconsiderable investment, but it looks like you made a fantastic space there, and that will have added a lot to the resale value, presumably, that you've gone from a T whatever to a T plus, a couple of extra spaces and storage up there.
sure, if you ask for permission to do it and then change your blueprint and then submit it to the commandant and get your, the actual size of your apartment increased. But some people don't do those things.
Some people don't do those things. Okay, those sort of questions can be addressed this morning. So Wiley specialising in Cascais in Estoril, and that lovely part of Portugal there, which is in huge demand, and we'll find out just exactly what the trend is like at the moment. Probably much the same as when we spoke last time. But some of the general principles we'll speak about this morning. Don't worry, if that's not the area for you, we can talk about the general principles of buying property over here in Portugal as well. And you might be able to twist Wiley's arm and get her to help you out in other parts of the country. But that's between you and Wiley to figure out. And you can get in touch with the contact details that we'll put on the screen for you as well. Oh, Mrs. M, my wonderful dining companion, life companion, and what beautiful woman with whom I shared a wedding anniversary yesterday, has just given me a coffee. It's obviously going well. What we do, Wiley, every year on our wedding anniversary, we decide like druids if we want to be together for another year. And looks like we're going to do another year, everybody.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so the trend then in Cascais and Estoril and your specialist area of real estate, how's it going? Is demand still outstripping inventory?
Yes. And now it's taken a new twist, which is really interesting. And that is just from a rental market perspective. First and foremost, because of what's happening in other countries, we are bringing people in who need to be safe. And that's wonderful. Indeed. Yep. And it's eaten up our rental market. So nowadays what's happening is if you're in the rental market, and I'm going to suggest 4,000 euros and under, having your own agent isn't working any longer, because the other agencies are saying, we don't have any inventory. We're all fighting for the same thing. So we don't need to share it with anybody. So I've had to say to every client I've had, I can't represent you in this, because they won't even pick up the call because they know it's me. So you have to call independently.
Yes.
And so that way they keep 100% of their commission. And that's fine. And it's fine. But I always say to my people, let me look at your contract, I can go with you and I can give you an opinion, but always let me look at your contract before you sign it. So that's just something I do just because karma is a good thing and I want to make sure they're safe. So that's how I've been working it with them. 4,000 and up, it hasn't really been a problem. Those people I can still represent. And so they have someone on their own side. But other than that, it's been really demanding. So I can't say I've lost clients because I've stayed with them, but it's just that I can't set anything up for them. I can't make the calls for them. I can't set up, the list of places we'll go to see together. That's out of my hands right now. I'm hoping it'll come back, but sometimes when trends like this, they set a standard. And so I'm hoping it doesn't stay. But again, we have very little inventory. The last house I rented out because I called an agent and said, I'm in trouble. And she said, I have something coming up in 6 weeks. And I said, can I sign it now? And then, can we live in it in 6 weeks? And so that's the only thing that we could do. That's the only thing I've seen off market, just because we decided we could wait. But other than that, it's just tricky. Same thing with houses. But I have closed in the last couple of days. I've closed on 2. One was on the market for 3 years. We closed on that one. And one was on the market for 6 months and we closed on that one. So it's not impossible. There are houses that are available and some that have been there for a long time. We just have to kind of see, we understood the reasons why nobody had purchased them. And so we just kind of have to make that okay with us. But we didn't pay market price. So that was good.
Well done. So the intensity continues, however, over in that part of Portugal, it would appear. Francis is here this morning. Good morning, Wiley. Loft is looking awesome. I agree. It looks lovely there. Okay, so we've got 2 wonderful properties to have a look at this morning. which is great. I think we'll start with the actually just going back for a moment on rentals there. Average rentals then. I mean, it's starting from what, €2,000 or thereabouts for something quite basic in Cascais, and rising up to as much as you want thereafter.
Okay, so I'll give you some numbers. October, November last year, I had a rental that was 15 and a half, almost €16 per square meter, ocean view. It took me 6 weeks to rent it out. And it was 3 bedrooms. It was beautiful. Then fast forward, everything happens over in Ukraine. We're now up to 30 to 40 euros per square meter. I showed 109 square meters for 4,000 euros the other day. There was 13 people in line to see it.
Wow.
It's daunting.
It's insane.
So the square meter price has doubled. And so people are even taking their houses off the market, relisting them for higher prices and putting them back on. This is the exception, not the rule, but it's happening. So, and now we've never really seen bidding wars, and we're starting to see them. So it's unusual. It's a completely new market.
Well, okay, so you need to keep your head in this time, and have a strategy. Bidding wars, unusual then. What's the way to approach that? I mean, do you walk away and not want to be involved in that, or do you go in strong? What's your particular approach with that?
Well, I mean, it's all what you believe about interest rates in the future and recessions. And I mean, people come in with their own beliefs about how it's going to play out. But it's not unusual that it's happening in other countries. So people are coming in knowing that it was happening in their country. So it's not horrible. A lot of Americans, we go into multiple offers anyway. That's how we do business. It's never been that way before. And the way they've done business here prior is you go in at a certain price. People barely started asking, or traditionally we barely started at asking price. We would come under, and sometimes we would give a bid and they would counter, and it wouldn't be so many counters. It would just be kind of 1 or 2. But last time I sold a house that went into multiples, the house cost X, and the first person made an offer, and I said, okay, the second person made an offer, and they gave me full price. But their terms were 10% down and 30 days to close. So come in with better terms. So then my second person was 15% down and 20 days to close. And my last person was 20% down and 10 days to close. And so that was the one who took the house. So it was always just a bidding on terms, not on price. And now it's both. I always think you should come in under, because I always think it's inflated, and I always think there's wiggle room. And I don't want anybody to pay more than they have to. So that's me. But once again, I'm independent. If you talk to larger agencies, what happens is that if they ask you to come in under, it cuts off their commissions. And they have to share it with their corporations, where as I'm independent, I don't have to. So I always come in under. But I'm unusual because I don't work for a large company. So what I do is not standard.
There you go. No, but it's great. It's very interesting to find work if you like the kind of jib, as it were, and you want to work with her. That's the place. That's the contact detail there. Wiley at wileyandpartners.com. So let's have a look. We go first this morning. My computer's slowed up a little bit. Let's see if we can do this.
Yeah,
adding to the screen now. This T3 in Canada. This isn't your patch per se, is it? Are we going closer into Lisbon for this? In
unfortunately,
are we looking at here?
Unfortunately, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. So I had to reach out to some of my partners and go, "Hey, send me some cool properties." So that's kind of how that played out. So this is not anywhere near me, but it's beautiful. So we showed it to you guys today, just because
it is lovely. Yeah, I like this, and this is built in 1965. This architecture here, it looks like to me like almost like a British semi-detached house. So this will be quite a comforting style of architecture, but it's a bit of a TARDIS of a place as well, isn't it? You get a lot here in a seemingly unassuming house. Can we start with the location? So where is this actually, Wiley?
Yeah, I wish. I mean, again, I'm so naive to anything that's outside of Cascais, so I'm having a hard time, telling you that this is a good or a bad neighborhood. I just trust my partners to send me, something that they think is a great space. So I'm very naive to this area. If you scroll down to the
Okay,
bottom,
fair
there's a
enough.
map.
Yes,
Go all the way
okay.
down.
So, which still isn't giving us a massive amount of detail there. Let's leave that mystery hanging there because I want to show people the pictures of this delightful place here. Having broken my alcohol fast, I'm pleased to see there's a wine cellar here, and this is a saltwater pool, isn't it? That they have in the pictures. Is that
Which I
unusual to
love.
have a saltwater?
It is. And I love that
What's the
people are
deal then?
thinking, I love that people are thinking outside the box. So what happens is you have a salt exchange in the pool, and so you don't have to use chlorines.
Right.
It's great.
Okay, very good. So a saltwater pool, and you can come straight out of the lovely big windows. These windows are beautiful. I think they're an upgrade. They don't look like a 1965 feature to me, but look at this beautiful barbecue area out.
Yeah.
Outdoor kitchen.
So, I mean, I think when people start to create houses and they think outside the box, I think very clean, super sporty. You know, can you get a bigger TV?
This is why I described it as a TARDIS, though, Wiley. Look at this. How does that room fit inside that house? This is a lovely, great big drawing and living room here. Yeah, and you're right. That is a fairly big. We've either done some very good photography there, or that is actually a very big TV, and I suspect it's the latter. A huge TV there with an AstroTurf backdrop. I'm thinking the people who live here like football, possibly. But look at this lovely open plan living inside. Fantastic open staircase up there. Very nice indeed. Lovely dining area with what looks like an island kitchen as well, kitchen island.
And as someone who renovates, yeah, and I renovate, and I love when people, I walk into hundreds of houses and I see the same house over and over again. And when you see someone who thought outside of the box, you have to appreciate it.
Yes. They have done something a little bit different here, haven't they? And the photographs are really very good too. Excellent stuff. Now, here's the wine cellar. This is where you go for, after you've had dinner, you go for a walk, don't you, into the wine cellar here. And there's
did you say after dinner?
Showcase of liqueurs.
Before dinner.
Okay, yes, fair enough. On arrival, then, come with me to the wine cellar. And it's lovely to see a massive bottle of Beryl. Beautiful, big bottle of Beryl there. And look at this for a staircase. That's
floating staircase.
That's not your main staircase. It's actually a floating staircase, which you want to be attacking before and not after the booze. Up here, then.
Good size room.
Sure if that's the master or not, but it's a lovely room, isn't it? And the kids' rooms are very special here, aren't they? These are beautifully made and dressed. A child who likes dinosaurs, a huge dinosaur backdrop there. And don't worry, folks, there's also a Frozen backdrop as well for your other child who might prefer Frozen to a bit of dinosaur action. Look at this lovely, lovely space. There's the. I think I prefer that one to the dinosaur person. Yeah, and a princess bed there, ready for some mosquito nets as well. By the look of it, beautifully done, beautifully staged for the photographs as well. And a work from home attic here with a very sexy little staircase.
Good light.
When I first looked at that photo, I was thinking, what's going on here? Very light, very beautifully done. And your home office here, and an incredible staircase. I think we get a little bit of a view of it there, top there, and lots of space to work in the attic. And then back out in the garden. So fantastic. Very nice property. And for a mere, what are we looking at here? 800,000 euros there. For that particular home in Carnaçal Olivais, we're talking about Portuguese suburb, Lisboa suburb there. Okay, did you want to add anything to that before we go to this other beauty of a property that you sent to us today?
Are you looking at the one in Santos? The second one?
We're going to go to we're going to go to Viseu now. Okay, beautiful Quinta. In Guemeos in Viseu. I wanted to take people to another part of Portugal this morning. Intended for housing. I wonder what else they thought it might be intended for. That might be a translation thing. With stunning views over Serra da Estrela, which we've talked about quite a lot over the last few weeks. And that first view, look at that, from the living room through to the pool. Don't know if it's salt water or not.
I don't see what you're seeing.
Located. Oh, that's because I haven't shared it yet. How selfish of me. Let me just... I just got really into that. I went off on my own little... That's not right at all. So here we go. This is the view I'm talking about from the living room through in pool. Look at that.
How crazy is this house?
Construction area with about. Sorry, go on, Wiley. So we got a bit of a delay here now.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing this house doesn't have. I mean, it checks every box of every dream you've ever had about a house. It is incredible.
It does. It's swimming pool, gym.
Yep.
Oh, and antivirus. A swimming pool, gym, sauna, jacuzzi, tennis and soccer fields, playground, leisure areas. It's got a disco, everybody. That's why I'm showing you this morning.
But go to their.
We can have some amazing.
You have to go to their wine cellar.
This wine cellar is something else, isn't it? Okay, so there's the living room.
It's
what's
living
going
room
on there? Are those kind of yes?
I mean,
living room and Olympic pool room. Yeah, and on the coffee table there, are they stainless steel shisha pipes or something like that? It's quite incredible. Oh, we won't look at the video just now, but look at that pool with its fantastic view over towards the Serra da Estrela Mountains there. And I'm thinking to myself, when I first saw these, I thought, is it part of this? But it's all of this, isn't it? This could well be, an aspect of a condominium, couldn't it? And your house is part of this.
First saw it, I thought the same thing.
Yeah, but this is all of it, folks. This is all of it. And I imagine we're going to come to a helipad at some point here. Beautiful. 3 garages for your various vehicles here. Your 3 Teslas or whatever it is you want to do, a classic vehicle and a modern one. And lovely entertaining area up on the sun deck there. Absolutely beautiful. Don't worry, we're going to get to the disco in just a moment. Real grass, no astroturf with this one. Look at that. It is absolutely beautiful. This is made for entertaining in the Portuguese countryside, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Central Portugal. It's lovely, isn't it? Thank you for sharing this one with us today. But we want to go inside. Oh, look, you've got your own Parque de Merendas here. The Portuguese picnic area is an important thing. You've got your own here for your own exclusive use. A massive granite mushroom as well. Every luxury. And the water feature. Look, it's superb, this place. And now we're going in to check out the marvelous interior of this beautiful home here. Look at that. Beautifully done. And look at that. Talking of wine cellars. Did this catch your eye, Willie?
Is that amazing?
It's a shot.
I barely have seen anything like that. When you're a realtor and you're surprised by something, it's like, and then I'm thinking this is the mixing room.
What happens here?
I think it's the gin. I think it's the cocktail mixing room. I mean, that's what you need, right? I think that's what that is.
It is.
Yeah.
It has a mural. It has a mural of a kitchen. But yes, this is stripped down for minimal mixology, I think, here. And look, there's another one of those brilliantly drawn murals as well as part of that. Okay. And here, my friends, we've got the long shot now. Well, home cinema and disco. Look at that. It's got a glitter ball as well. This is so brilliant. They have actually got a glitter ball. And look, they're back into the living area. There's a piano there, isn't there? They thought of everything in this home. Look at that. And those lounges there, I think, are faced out towards the Serra da Estrela Mountains as well. There they are. Incredible. Look at that. That's where you go and have a little lie down in the afternoon, isn't it? With that beautiful view, read a book, maybe. Fantastic. It's a delightful home.
Here comes the sauna.
Then back
there
to the
you
go.
Yeah,
sauna. Yeah, incredible.
No, I think it's raised the bar because, now we can't look at homes if they don't have concrete mushrooms outside and they don't have disco balls. And their own disco ball. Absolutely. I love it. Love this place. And a little bit of outside dining there for when it warms up. Are you a fan of Viseu in that area? Do you know it well? Don't know it well. I would love to be able to travel more than I do, but I work so much I barely get out of Cascais. So someday I'll do a road trip.
Yep. Same here. Look at
gorgeous.
This. And the great, it's synonymous with luxury is the floating lavatory bowl, isn't it? These days. And as a species, we've learned to trust them now, haven't we? That we can sit on them without fear of
We can sit on them.
any
Right.
accident. Yeah. That's a master bedroom enough. That is a big bed there. Fantastic. Superb. Absolutely love this one. Thank you. And some outside views. Now look at that terrace there. Superb. I think we found another kitchen. Maybe that's the accommodation. And look at this. Yeah, the tennis and football areas as well. Absolutely stunning place.
You know, and for some, in the world. I used to sell houses in Beverly Hills, and this is something that we would see in Beverly Hills. You know, this is something that is indicative of Los Angeles. And to see it out here leads you to believe that someone, maybe who once lived somewhere there, has moved somewhere here. Incredible. And the landscaping.
Indeed. And I'm sure, I suspect I'm right in thinking something like that for me in Beverly Hills, right?
Easily, yeah. It'd be 4 times that in Beverly Hills.
If you're hearing me now, Wiley, you're not going to, are you? Okay.
It's not, yeah.
All right, so actually, very good value then. 3,900,000 euros there. And yes, we might have to call the show short this morning because of this the lag and the delay that we've got. But thank you for sharing those 2 beauties with us. Let's get your contact details back onto the screen. Wiley at wileyandpartners.com. Anything else you want to tell us today, Wiley? I mean, you presumably heard the news recently about the AL license. Shocker. Did that impact your world and people's ideas maybe to have a little alojamento local as part of their investment portfolio in Portugal?
Yes and no. It's been interesting because between realtors, one of the things that we always talk about is that what we really need from the industry is we need people who have homes that are willing to rent them out for a 3, a 6, or a 9. Because here you have an Airbnb, which is 30 days or less, or you have a 1-year contract. And when a client comes to work with us and is looking to buy a home, they don't want to sign a 1-year contract. They need 3 months kind of thing to find something, do some small renovations and move in. So a 3-month home is not a Airbnb 30-day home. So if we could get people to buy homes and rent them out twice a year, 3 times a year, you're coming in under the radar. Also, it's designed for tourism, and this client base isn't tourism. You know, the client base is people who are coming in to buy, that you're no longer a tourist. So that is a lot of people who I know who had Airbnbs, having the conversation with them, they say, yes, but then we just shift it over to, you know, renting it 3 to 4 times a year for longer periods of time for people who are coming in for the sheer reason of purchasing property and having a more flexible lease with them. And then they're no longer tourists and we're no longer under the Airbnb, you know, rules and regulations. So it's not necessarily, you can kind of, it's.
Yeah. I think it was a bit of political posturing, wasn't it? And as we talked with Daniel on Monday to discover that, it's great for anyone who's grumpy about their neighbours having an Airbnb, and they'll be able to take them to court about it. But I think, it will be looked at again by the Portuguese Parliament, and it was perhaps not quite the controversy and challenge that was originally feared. That's not a wine cellar. That's a wine pub, says James. Does that house come with staff? Is that that's a deal breaker for T-Duck there, who also says in Beverly Hills you would add a 0 to that price. Absolutely right. Yeah, probably 40 mil. And that house, it just goes to show you can't please people all the time.
Agree.
Yeah. Right. I mean, this is your life, isn't it? You can't, people, you have to get into those very personal requirements. And for Lee McGrady, that was just a little small. Can you find me somewhere a little bigger? The wine cellar needs to be double the size. And it was I couldn't think much. I couldn't think what was missing, and Andrew's nailed it there.
That's right. Thank you, Andrew.
Yes.
So now it's a concrete mushroom, a disco ball, and a stripper pole.
And a stripper pole. So there you go. That's the cut of the jib of this community this morning. Thank you very much, Wiley. Always great fun to speak to you. Look, Abel's saying, morning, people. Visio is my hometown. Can't wait for a wee visit with my Scottish family this summer. Well, tell us more, Abel, because some people who are ready to put an offer in for that home probably need to know a little bit more about the the backdrop and the setting there in Viseu. Actually, joking aside, Viseu is an amazing place for budget property as well. It's not one of the places people naturally gravitate towards, I think, when looking for a home in Portugal. So you can get some proper bargains over Viseu, as well as the nearly €4 million dream home that we showed you this morning. Wiley, have a great day. Thank you for sharing your loft with us. It's amazing what you've done there. And have fun with the family by the sound of it. It sounds like you've got a family visit ongoing.
I do. Thank you so much.
Oh, there they are. Yeah, have a great day, and looking forward to seeing you again next month. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao. See you. Bye. Right, so Andrew may well make an offer. We'll see, or club together possibly. And I'm sorry we disappointed you, Lee, with the wine cellar not being big enough there. We will try harder next time, and on a daily basis, I'm going to be bringing you more property to show you. I think we're going to show you we'll do a sort of through the keyhole and bring you properties of all kinds. You know, from the literal few rocks redevelopment site in the middle of Portugal for those with an appetite and a budget for a doer-upper in central Portugal, right up to these beautiful show homes where we can dream a little bit and have a little bit of fun. So every day, if you have a property and you'd like me to showcase it here on the Good Morning Portugal show, send it in. And probably what we'll do is we'll segment those little bits, and we'll have a little property channel to sit alongside our live stream here, where people can get a real sense of what's going on in the Portuguese property market. So thanks to Wiley there. Get in touch, Wiley at wileyandpartners.com. Let's see what you've all been saying in the comments, as well as being very fussy about your housing requirements there. That attic looks great for working from home. Hi ho. What if you're one of the seven dwarves? Are you saying it's a little bit compact, that particular attic there? Thanks for mentioning midwives, says Sarah. Our midwife was amazing. Our birthing stories include playing Scrabble, I won, and listening to the birds as the sun came up. All of us were well cared for. They are amazing breed of people, midwives, for sure. I loved our midwife who celebrated the birth of our youngest here in Portugal with a cigar smoking midwife. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so I'm scrolling back. They see me scrolling. Thank you very much. This is where we got to. Cindy B's in this morning with a bon dia gumpers. Yes, we covered that as well. T-Duck was doing live translations of Portuguese proverbs a little earlier on. And Andrew hasn't answered the question why he's able to be here this morning and taking a bit of time off from teaching today. And it was a pleasure to meet you and share such a fun experience. That's T-Duck and Jean last night talking about the Bluegrass and Pizza meetup. What's this? I sent you the poster with the Dance of the Virgins and DJ Mastic. I don't think those necessarily go together, do they? DJ Mastic. I think you should share. I promise not to take too many pictures of you in your pinafore. What? Antonio F is here this morning. Morning, Antonio. How are you? And Joao's in here somewhere as well this morning. And I not only got an apartment in Mon Carapacho. So here we go. Here's another side of moving to Portugal and finding a home in Portugal. Not only do you get an apartment when you sign up for your rental agreement, I've practically been adopted into the family as well. There's your added value, isn't that? And you can't put a price on that sort of thing. And that's what happens. This is what we're hearing over and over again here in Portugal. That's beautiful to hear that, Jean. Fantastic. Oh, Taxi was loving that beach. You could see that, couldn't you? Taxi having a little runabout. I think it was on Omaha Beach. From yesterday. Wonderful lunchtime yesterday in San Martino de Porto, says Nuno, and an exceptional sunrise to know in person. One of the cavemen. Yes, I was there when Nunu pointed at Chris and said, "You're a caveman." Others there, innocent bystanders, were thinking, "Oh, is this going to turn into something bad?" But no, they just gave each other a caveman greeting and were delighted to see each other and took a selfie, I think. I missed the meetup yesterday, had to nap before a late night. We'll be there next week. Yes, there was definitely a T-Duck and the Mr. and Mrs. Duck-shaped holes there yes, we're hoping you will fill next week. Same for me. I suspect it's not uncommon here in friendly and welcoming Portugal. Okay, that's being adopted by the family. Fantastic. €4 million. It's a shed. Gutted we are going before the furniture is on show. Off to Spain, then have a great time. So much about Rodney Dangerfield is his delivery. Yes, and that face, though. Come on. We can try, but we will be millions of millions. Stars Resort once we'll be sleeping under the dark sky. Nunu, what are you talking about there? Many more man cave bingo names to tick off. This is a game you man cavers play, isn't it? You meet up with each other, and that's a bit of man cave bingo. And you meet each other in the flesh and pound your chests together. Francis, great to see you here. You enjoyed that Loft, didn't you? I think Wiley's done an amazing job there. How you're all good? Feliz Quinta-feira from Francis this morning in South Africa. I've been told by Portuguese, in brackets, that the somewhat bad attitude of the Portuguese toward the Spanish, to be continued, is that they had to continually beat back those pesky Spaniards every time they unsuccessfully tried to invade. Yeah, what would you do if a Spaniard jumped onto you? Would you beat them off? I wonder. Profile picture, William, Count of Schaumburg-Lippe, who led the Allied troops in Portugal against the Spanish invasion. What a hero. Count Schaumburg. Brandy, for you this evening from the wine cellar, don't drop it. Out of context conversation. This meaning eludes me this morning. Yes, Count of Lippe, the man that reorganized the Portuguese army in the 18th century. Yeah, that sounds like a traditional member of the British aristocracy. Yes, what do they call SAG? No, I think it's a reference to the British royal family there, isn't it? But I'm not sure that's quite right there, and the spelling of that. So I'm not even going to attempt it at the moment. But there you go. There's a little clue to Pete's historical past. Bon dia, all pasts are historical, aren't they? His past as a history teacher is what I meant to say there. Bon dia, Eusebio. Yes, Count of Lippe, the man that reorganized the Portuguese army in the 18th century, national hero. Shout out to the Count this morning. Someone told me that there was like 200 troops sent by the Brits to Portugal versus 15,000 Spanish. Hooah! Not 300, just 200 when it comes to the Brits, right? In a confrontation. Thump, what was that? Oh, just one of the kids dropping out of the attic. It wasn't that bad, we discovered. And talk of Horatio Hornblower this morning, the Welsh weapon that it is. Yawn is that? Yawn Griffith, possibly. Yeah, Loft was looking awesome. We're catching up now. In his honor, Count Lippe, that is, Count of Lippe, his name was given to a fort in Elvash. I won't make the joke, don't worry. Fort Lippe, and to an infantry regiment, the number 1 infantry regiment, where I served. Not in his time, Antonio F. quickly points out. We knew that, Antonio. Laura P is here. Hola, carrera UV, a programa mais, Manau é tão fácil. Good to have you here, Laura, this morning. Jimmy Chew's coming. What's up? Have you been told off by Mummy? He looks like he's been told off by Mrs. M. He's got that sort of look on his face this morning. You behave yourself in here. Don't be pulling over the lights. You just get cooler every week, Antonio. And I thought being in charge of the Castelo Branco Hunting Association was fantastic. The things we find out about people is great, isn't it? As proved today, Wiley E. Coyote, the greatest enemy is gravity. Yes, but we recovered from that. Yes, he brought only some English and German officers to reorganize the Portuguese army. Count Lippe, again, being celebrated this morning as it was in shambles due to underfinance. This is how it goes, isn't it, with the military? 1755 earthquake had been only a few years before that, of course. Yes, he just organized a resistant tactic that worked well as the Spanish stopped advancing, and then the Portuguese did the rest. So enjoying the military history this morning, a few of you, I see. Well, it seems that now is not the time for people to be even considering moving to Portugal. I wonder how you've come to that conclusion, Wyatt Everett. I mean, we're talking about the hotspot that is Cascais and Estoril this morning, where, obviously a lot of people do want to live, and prices have been driven up. And a lot of Ukrainian people have been made safe and welcome in the area, as Wiley was pointing out there. But, Portugal has many other regions, towns, cities, villages to commend it. So don't be put off. Just maybe look elsewhere. Maybe broaden your search. I mean, I guess if you were attached to Cascais, that might be a bit disappointing this morning. But many other areas are available, as people will tell you here. Why Everett? And thank you for joining us this morning. Yeah, don't be put off. Maybe Wiley should value our place in Lisboa, a large T5 with a modern full refit. I'm thinking about 5 mil for you there, Andrew, and you know where to send the 0.5%. The US attempted that strategy in Vietnam, and well, slightly different result, one might say. Absolutely, James. Thank you for that. I wasn't there, man. That's Antonio. We have a salt pool. It's a salt chlorinator where the salt is converted into chlorine. And I think others are thinking of this strategy, Francis. Does that suit you? Is it good? Is it a good alternative to the chlorine? Actually, on that matter, I saw a brilliant film. Have you seen on Netflix Apollo 10.5? Superb animation, and it describes family life in Houston, Texas in 1969, of course. And what an amazing time to be an American and a young American at that. And they were talking about how they would ride their bicycles behind the DDT machine, or go into the house straight after fumigation to get rid of mosquitoes and bugs and stuff. And if they spotted a bug, a cockroach, they would fumigate the whole place with deadly smoke. And then the kids and the family would just walk back into the room. And he also made mention, and what reminded me of it, he made mention of how sometimes the chlorine in the pool was a little bit over the top, and all the children would have red eyes. So I'm sure the saltwater pool is a better alternative to chlorine in so many ways. But let us know, Francis, with that. And I do recommend to you Apollo 10.5. It's such a good, if you're an American of a certain age, or even a Brit of a certain age, you will love the references to the old TV shows and American life of the 1960s. Superb. And a mum, the mum of the house, constantly smoking in the background as well. And kids in the back of pickup trucks, an hour's drive to the beach along the freeway at 70 miles an hour. No seatbelts, just all chucked in the back of the pickup. Brilliant film. We have a little paddling pool that will be salted next week. I don't know what Pete means by that. Wow. It seems that now is not the time. Carrying on with why Everett's contribution this morning for people to be even considering moving to Portugal. Those prices are ridiculous. Airbnbs are 3,000 to 4,000 per month for even substandard houses. This is happening. Let's not overlook or hide the fact this is happening in some of the most popular parts of Portugal, but it's not representative of the whole country. I really need you to understand that, why Everett. That's literally hotspot Portugal, where people are coming in, and you know how it is for some parts of the market, the new customers, the new clients. Money's not the issue. It's about location. It's about being able to move quickly. And, for some people, that's not an extraordinary or expensive budget, is it? The likes of, if you can, for example, just look down the back of the sofa and find enough billions to buy Twitter, $3,000 to $4,000 a month isn't going to phase you, is it? And so people are paying this. And, this is part and parcel of Portugal's growing popularity, but it is not representative of the whole country. You don't have to be paying anything like that in other parts of the country. So please don't be put off why Everett. Help me out here, everybody, and let why Everett know that this is not representative of the whole country. I filled my basement with tools, not wine. It's fine. We have a liquor cabinet and racks in the pantry. And who doesn't like a rack in the pantry? First thing in the morning, whatever that means. That attic looks great for working from home. And says Pete about that one. Paddling pool that floats in the Olympic-sized one there. Yes, my pool will fit in that pool. That's not a house, it's a park, says James as well. My house must have a ballroom with vaulted cellars. That's on Andrew's list. So, yes, while we're talking about these things, strippers poles, somebody wanted. Bigger cellars. What else is it you need? No one's wanted a helipad. I think you probably need charging stations, a few of you now, don't you, for your hybrids and your Teslas. There are wine shops in Lisbon with less bottles. It's true, isn't it? Hello, folks, from Joao F. And I hope the wine comes with the house. I wonder. That's part of the joy of Wiley's job, isn't it? The wine cellar. My client would like to make you an offer on that, please. A drink laboratory. That was a very special room, wasn't it? The little mixing area there. Mixed music, mixed cocktails in that part of the house. Come on, let's all chip in and buy it. We've got some fantastic weekends there. It's like to be like the Hefner Mansion of our times. We have a fabulous Thursday, or have a fabulous Thursday, says Pete. We're off to conquer Spain. Yeah, don't mention the invasions. Chris, what a lovely surprise to see you yesterday at the meetup. Lovely to see you and Rima. How were those crisps? I bought. I'm known for my generosity, you know. Bought them a packet of crisps to take on their journey. Hola, bon dia. Great meeting, fellow Gumpers, yesterday. It was a beautiful, lovely day. Fajr do dia. Soup for one. Sopa para uma. By Chic there. What a tune. And that was sampled by the track Lady. Who was the band that sampled it and gave Chic's Soup for One another lease of life? Yeah, brilliant to see you. What were the egg and bacon crisps like, Chris? And that's not what I called them when I urged Chris to do up the windows and open the packet so that when Rima got back in the car, she could go, "Oh my God, Chris, what have you been doing in here? Am I still on time to join the gang?" You most certainly are, Joao, for just hanging out, looking at property this morning and comparing wine cellars and pools, you know, that sort of thing that the Gumpers do. Does that house come with the stuff? It needs it, doesn't it? Absolutely. And then lots of talk about floating lavatory bowls. I mean, I can't be the only one to have, when I first saw those come into common usage. And you know, for mere mortals, you might get to try one out in a hotel, mightn't you, or a more upmarket sort of Airbnb. Did you not think when you first sat down on one of those, is this gonna hold me? You don't want the floating lav to fall. No, you definitely don't want the floating lav to fall off the wall there. Lee complaining, not big enough for him. On dia gria todo. Sorry, I'm late. Was bringing my girlfriend to the airport at 5 a.m., Matty, and went back to bed after. Just awake now. Great to have you here, mate. Exotic dancer. Yeah, again, my client, no, let's not go there. Vizia, tell us more about Vizia, Abel, if you will. Fondle the like button, good Gumpers, for this lofty show. Very good. See what you did there, Cindy. And, Andy needs bags of ballroom, it would appear. My attempt at humour this morning, sleeping in, being late, etc. Healthy move. Portugal. It's not good, James, when you have to explain your jokes, you know, but don't stop. It's a bit like the Portuguese. Keep going. Slightly later start this morning. Get to enjoy hanging out with the Munson Massive crew. Oh, I see. That's why you're here this morning, Andy. Great to have you here and see you tonight, probably on the webinar as well. Bon dia, Gumpers. Awoke in the middle of the night here in Alaska and knew it would be rude not to say hello. Absolutely, Marty. Great to hear from you too. My sleep doctor would not approve of this behavior, so don't tell her. No, we won't. But check you out with your own sleep doctor. Schaumburg Lippe sounds German. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Matty. I think these aristocrats, these military aristocrats, did move across all of Europe, didn't they, and married into various families to create the network that they have today that Pete was talking about. I've been lucky, says Laura this morning, being a T1 during pandemic. So I made a good deal on the property. So there you go. That's a reference to the earlier conversation with, who were you? Your first name was Y, wasn't it? Y Everett. Yeah, you can still get good deals all around. I'm hearing of people here in the Bay in San Martino de Porto picking up rentals for €700 a month. That's good. It is high season. I don't think 3,000 to 4,000 per month is a usual price. At least I hope not. No, that's just the highest end of the market right now over there in Cascais and Estoril. If you maintain the salt cell like you should, it's okay by the sound of it, says Francis. I didn't at first because I didn't know. You'll have to put chlorine in. Only the occasional bag of salt. Water is softer and the eyes don't burn. So there you go. And James, a Gandalf staff might come in handy for the necessary magic to keep up those properties. But can imagine you standing on your terrace there with your Gandalf staff, shouting out, "Get off my land," to people who stray onto your territory there, James. Thanks, everyone, this morning for being involved and for having a little wander through some luxury property here in Portugal. Don't forget, tonight it is the webinar and a chance to hang out and chat with expats. So let me just pop that onto the screen in case you missed it earlier on. Where are we? There we go. Chat with our members about moving to Portugal, connecting people already living in Portugal with those wanting to move. What's not to love about that? Yeah, ask questions, have some fun, network and make new friends. Special guests. Our special guest tonight is Amit. Get involved and more. Always a little bit different and a little more informal on the first Thursday of the month, which it is, of course, tonight. And in case you missed it, coming up on the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, I will get these onto the events page of expatsportugal.com. The 22nd, Concentrado Motard. And this is a special and big date for the diary, folks. This is a special event in Anadia, in the Aveiro district of Portugal. This is the wine festival that has returned now after the pandemic disruption. Look at this, from the 17th of June to the 3rd of July. And headlining this year, the Rolling Stones of Portugal, Juntos e Pontaps, on the 22nd of June. A chance to see them. Tony Carrera, he's pretty famous too, isn't he? He's playing on the 25th of June as well. I'm not sure of those other artists, but we should look into those, shouldn't we? T-Duck, let's make a note of some of those other artists there. Antonio Zambujo, Diogo Pissarra, Bispo. I have heard of Juntos and I've heard of Tony Carrera there. They are playing at Anadia de Pajós, the festival, from the 17th of June to the 3rd of July. Thank you very much, Andy. Keep those coming to us, won't you? And for final comments then, Viseu was voted, this is good to know, Viseu was voted the best place to live in Portugal for many years, well known for being the garden city. Thanks for that, Abel. James will be with us tonight. James, I'm sure you'll chip in as well with your personal experiences of moving to Portugal. People will find that very useful, I'm sure. Joao, what is your work? And great artists performing in Anadia in June. So thumbs up from Antonio there for that, for the bill there. Performers at the Anadia Wine Festival. It's a big one. That it's a good gig to go to and a chance to check out the Bairrada region. Talking of wine, as we were today. On numerous occasions. Slightly early finish then today, and it will give me a chance to show. Chris was playing bluegrass last night as part of the Bluegrass Collective that played at the Rocio Hostel. I think I've got that right now. Let's share with you his wonderful slideshow of time spent in Porto a week or so ago as a little extra treat for you. Today, as we say goodbye, and maybe see you tonight on the webinar, and tomorrow, Jenny B's here, everybody, for a bit of Feel Good Friday fun. Thursday's the end of my week. It's like my Friday, and we'll have some fun tomorrow. And I'll be beginning the weekend, even if you're not. So where are we? Where's that wonderful? Oh no! Did I get rid of it? Surely not. I think I did. I think I got rid of. Oh no, I didn't. I put it in special place here. Here we go. The Crystal Palace of Porto and the gardens thereof. Enjoy this, folks. A lovely little bit of music to finish the show with. See you tonight or see you in the morning. Take care and bye for now.